Good morning. Welcome back to Mona's Take. I am your host, Mona Rose, and we are here to talk about everything reality TV. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything I have coming up. Don't forget to comment and share. We're going to recap Big Brother and let you know who got HOH and a little bit of the stuff that's went on since they've been back in the house. This is going to be a shorter video than usual. I've got to get some sleep, so I have an appointment in the morning. So I'm going to give you guys the highlights for right now, and then I'll catch up when I get back in the morning. People are acting on a whole nother level on that. So can't wait to see that karma train coming through. Choo-choo. Mood of the day. Really? You got to give us more credit than that. Some people, buckle up, buttercup. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. The show recap. The bestie twist is over. We did see that there's a new twist coming up, and I don't know that I like it because right now the leftovers have such good momentum. This is going to totally shake up the house again, because if there's going to be two teams that are competing in two videos, two HOHs, two nominations, whatever, those two groups, and those are going to be the people that they send out on the double eviction. It's a wild card. Anybody can go. So even though the leftovers have the numbers, they won't have. Unless it comes to where they have more numbers on one side than they do the other. That side will be okay, but the other one will still be vulnerable. So I think it can shake up a lot. I'm praying that Michael gets HOH, because if not, I can almost guarantee you that his butt will see the block in a double eviction. Yep, Daniel showed his whole ass, which I figured he would. That's just who he is. I've seen a lot of Big Brother players come and go in that house. I've watched every episode, every season. But every once in a while, we get that jackass that is just a sore loser and can't admit that he even had. It's the name of the game. But at least you could walk out the door with a little bit of class and dignity. But he couldn't. Hell, Nicole handled herself better than he did. The goodbye messages. Oh my God. Taylor's was the best. In case you missed it, she said, "I've never wanted to see someone's sorry ass leave this house as much as I had you. And your wishes come true. You don't have to talk to me again until finale night." That was perfect. Michael did his little bit with the 2 pieces of bread and told him he was an idiot sandwich. They were both really good. I think I'm going to go back tomorrow and watch the rest of them. You know, they only show a few on the episode. But you can go, I think, online and you can see all the goodbye messages. So I think I'm going to go check those out tomorrow. They've all made it to jury. That is our jury, and somebody in that is our winner. The wall comp. Jasmine's been talking all week about how she's been thinking about this dramatic fall. 30 seconds into the comp, she looked like she was ready to pass out. She made it until they came back from commercial break, but she was the first one out. So it was Jasmine out first, Brittany second, Terrence third, Monty fourth, Alyssa fifth, Indy sixth, Turner seventh, Joseph eighth, Kyle ninth, and our new HOH is Taylor. I cannot wait to see these people, trying to be nice, scramble, and it's already started from the moment they walk back in the door. Terrence and his ass. Turner asked Terrence how he felt about her winning. And he said, oh, I'm so proud of her. I had her back since day one. You know, I've always been the one that's taken up for her in this house. And I'm like, are all of you people reading the same script? Amira said the same thing. Nicole said the same thing. Now Terrence is saying the same thing. All three of them talk behind her back constantly on a daily basis. Just a few days ago, he was telling Daniel, that's okay. We don't need that bitch anyway. Bet you need that bitch now. Bet by the end of the week. Because you're going to be following Daniel right out that door. Hopefully. The only reason I say that is because the other person I want to go is Jasmine right now. I want her out. She is a mean girl. She is hateful. She goes personal. It's not just game. She makes personal attacks on people. And it's not right. I'd love to see her ass go out that door. And Terrence is kissing her ass. He is so far up her ass right now, it's ridiculous. When you come to Chicago, you gotta look me up and da-da-da-da, all this shit. I think he said 2 days ago that if he won HOH, that people could give him the same energy that they've been giving him in the game. How about he give her the same energy he's been giving her for the last 3 weeks? Now that she's HOH, and see where that gets him. And it's so obvious. She knows. She's not stupid. She's realizing all this. She's seeing who's coming up to her now that's never talked game to her a day in the house. Evidently, Michael and Brittany are pissed at Joseph because they had talked about if the Festy Besties were still in place and the other side won HOH, that they could pitch the idea that Michael and Brittany could go up as pawns, and that Michael had a really good chance of getting himself off the block. And Michael told Joseph, that's fine, but we're not discussing anything until after the HOH and if we see that the bestie twist is over. Well, he went to the other side and pitched it. And then came back and told Michael he pitched it. And Michael's like, what don't you understand? I told you don't say a word. That was a emergency only basis and that we would cross that bridge when we got to it. So they're kind of upset. They feel like Joseph is throwing them under the bus a little bit right now. And I have to agree. It's like, Joseph, she just won HOH. Give her time to get in her room and figure out what she wants to do. Yes, she may do what's best for the alliance as well, but that's her HOH. Let her figure it out. As soon as the comp was over, Kyle and Taylor were the only two left up on the wall. And Kyle fell. And when Kyle fell, everybody started hollering for Taylor. And she said, seriously, it's over? Nobody else is on the wall? And they were like, no, you won HOH. And so she does her fall. Well, then she immediately starts bawling. Just an onslaught of emotions. And Kyle was on the mat with her because he had just fallen. And so he goes over there and he wraps her up and he's holding her and she's crying and he's telling her, good job, you got this, it's okay, I knew you could do it. And evidently Alyssa got pissed off and said it loud enough for everybody on the bench to hear. And she said, all right, that's enough. Because it was several minutes that he was just holding her and she was crying. Well, all right, that's enough. Well, now she's going to try to backtrack and say, I hope nobody didn't hear that. And Joseph's like, yeah, we all heard it. So as a matter of fact, Monty is the one that told Taylor or something like that. I don't think they had told Taylor at that point. Joseph's playing the game 24/7. I think words come out of his mouth before he even knows what his brain's doing sometimes. So now Alyssa's worried about that. Jasmine said that she's going to start out by begging not to be on the block on her birthday. And she's also flipping out because she doesn't know if there's going to be have-nots. Right now, they haven't announced any have-nots. So I don't know that they're going to have them this week. It may have something to do with the veto competition. I don't know. They're talking about, it's Jasmine and Indy and Jasmine, Indy, Alyssa, and Kyle. And they're talking about who might go up on the block. And Jasmine said, well, we know it's not going to be Joseph because she just invited him up to her room. Number one, what happened was they were waiting in line for showers downstairs. Taylor and Joseph still hadn't showered. Taylor told Joseph he could go first because she had to take her extensions out. Jasmine popped off and said, well, why don't you just take a shower together? It's either Jasmine or Indy. Popped off and said, well, why don't you take a shower together and conserve water? And Taylor said, I'll wait till I get the HOH room for that. So they initiated, and when Taylor responds, as a joke, it's taken all seriously. And then Jasmine says, I don't want to have this conversation with her. It's really hard. I have to force myself to talk to her. I'm thinking, you little... She said, it's hard for me to have conversation with people that I... And then she stops herself. And she says, I just don't like being fake. Excuse me? Excuse me. That's what you've been doing for 5 weeks, is being fake. We can look at your DR sessions on the TV and tell just how fake you are. But now you don't want to be fake? Give me a break. Jasmine and Indy leave the room, and it's just Kyle and Alyssa. And Kyle said, Indy can be so mean sometimes. And Alyssa said, yeah, so can Jasmine. And they're just mean girls. And she tells Kyle that Jasmine says almost on a daily basis that she can make Brittany cry. That she's got Taylor wrapped around her finger. And Kyle says, who says that? Who thinks in their mind, I can control somebody else? She also said that Taylor asked Joseph to come up to her room to talk later on this evening. And I guess Joseph told them. And Jasmine said, that's so icky. It grosses me out that she would even ask him to do that. Indy is salty that Taylor won. She's not speaking to anybody. At first she says, oh, it's just because she didn't get a letter. No, she's pissed off that Taylor won that comp. And right now, I need Terrence to shut the hell up. Completely. Just zip it. It's so obvious that he's just trying. He just told Taylor on the wall comp to shut up and not talk to him. And now he's trying to act like her best friend? Do you think she's an idiot? And Lord, Jasmine just told everybody that she thinks she's Julie's favorite. Does she know that Julie doesn't watch the show? She comes in with a script. They may show her clips here and there, but Julie doesn't watch the show. She doesn't know what's going on in the house. Oh, these people, I can't with them. Now Alyssa's in the bathroom with Taylor, bad-mouthing Daniel. saying that he can suck it. He's gone out of the house and they don't ever have to see him again. And they don't ever have to do anything with him again. And it was just awful the way he acted in that house. And the way he talked about Taylor was just horrible. I don't like Daniel. I can't stand Daniel. But Daniel wasn't the only one. Amira did. Nicole did. Daniel did. Alyssa has. Indy has. Jasmine has. Terrence has. Hell, Monty has. I mean, the core group on that other side have been the ones that have been just constantly dogging Taylor and Brittany. But now you want to suck up to her? Last week they wanted to suck up to Brittany because Michael was HOH. If you think you can get away with it, go ahead, but I'm sorry, that other side's just a tad bit smarter than you guys are. In the last conversation of the night, before I head off to bed, evidently Indy was talking about Julie Chen. And she said Julia. And everybody erupted into laughter, and Joseph said, "Who are you talking about?" You're like, "Julia on the TV." And he's like, "You mean Julie? Her name's Julie." And Indy starts going into how it's hard for her. First she says, "When you can speak two different languages, then you come talk to me." And then she says that it's a language barrier, sometimes getting the names mixed up, because she'll say it in Portuguese instead of English. And they're laughing. Everybody's laughing and just cutting up. She takes it seriously. She gets really pissed. She tells Joseph just to shut up and leave it alone. It's done. And she said, "I just feel like I can't say anything without people making fun of me." And then she's over in the corner pouting. Well, honey, you've been doing the same thing to Brittany and you've been doing the same thing to Taylor behind their backs. So, as far as I'm concerned, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Let me know what you guys think about tonight's episode. Like I said, I have an appointment in the morning. I'm going to come back and try to get caught up, and then I'll have a video tomorrow afternoon with the nominations. So, until then, have a great day, and as always, much love.